Good morning and welcome to day one and the very first steps of my Appalachian Trail journey. I'm supposed to learn to say Appalachian, but I don't know after this many years if I can learn that or not. Just about to head up to Mount Katahdin, and I'll take you along the way, parts of it. I'm really excited. It's just before 8 o'clock in the morning on June 23rd. At about 3 miles in, we're just scrambling up rocks. I think the worst is yet to come. So far it's been a great day. Just took off my hoodie, and really nice temperature. Pretty humid, but overall really good. So you need to understand that you start at a campground and you hike up to Mount Katahdin, and then you hike back down the same trail to the same campground. So actually, even though I'm on the Appalachian Trail, you can see the white blaze on the rock up there. I'll be hiking this section 2 times. So the first stretch out of the campground was kind of nice and easy. And then we get to the next section, which is the boulder section. And a lot of boulder scrambles. This is the beginning of it. It's gotten a little bit more steep. Kind of see one of the hikers up ahead. And it's supposed to get a whole lot worse. Let's hope I'm on the final push up to the tablelands. Tabletop, but it's a little hard to tell how steep this is, but that basically is straight up. We're not quite to the top yet, but hopefully we'll get there. Yeah, this is probably the hardest climbs that I've ever done. It's incredible, it's amazing. You can see behind me, and then I turn. Notice I have to change the angle to get the below me straight down. That's exactly where I'm going. Great day in hiking.
Now he's like totally sold on it.
After a pretty incredible boulder scramble, you pop out of nowhere to see something like this. Good morning. It's 7:30 on day 2, just about to head out from camp. Spent the night at the Katahdin Stream campground after a really long and hard climb and descent of Mount Katahdin. So I'm officially now 4.2, I believe, miles into my hike of the Appalachian Trail. I'm going to take a minute and show you the little shelter that I spent the night in last night and then head out. Yes, that is a Starbucks cup. I didn't go to Starbucks this morning. No, we're a long way from the nearest Starbucks. I just carry one of the disposable or reusable Starbucks cups as a camp cup because it's lighter than the official camp cups that you can pay a lot of money for. My hiking pole's all ready to go and my breakfast laying there next to my coffee. Okay, just left Katahdin Stream Campground and headed toward the end of Baxter State Park today. We'll be out of the park and then spend the night in a lean-to, hopefully, with some of the guys that I hiked with yesterday, and they were a little bit slower than me, which for those of you who know me well, know that's a pretty incredible statement in getting out of the camp this morning. But we're just gonna make our steps. These are the first few, so they're kind of beautiful, and seeing the sun come down through the trees in the forest, it's a beautiful day.
Luckily, my adventure only lasted 1 minute.
Almost 2 hours into today's hike, and no, a little over 2 hours into today's hike. Came across this really pretty river, and there's supposed to be some pretty impressive falls coming up. Well, let's see. And then just a few seconds later, we get to Katahdin Stream Falls. Hard to see behind the trees, but it's very beautiful. Somehow I don't think I'm in West Texas anymore. Psst, psst. Good morning, day 3. Spent the night in my tent, first night in my tent. It turned out really okay. I slept really good. I'm surprised I'm sleeping this good this early. Kind of a mediocre early late start, about 8:30. Got on the trail and kind of climbing up out of a little valley that where the shelter was, where we camped, and so far a beautiful day. You can see my lovely head net for bugs. The bugs are real out here. I think about 40 of them flew in my nose yesterday. Not all at once, fortunately. I kind of expect maybe in a couple of weeks to sneeze and a whole swarm come out. I don't know. Sorry, that was gross. It's real easy just to be stepping along Love watching the roots and the rocks, trying to keep from tripping, making the miles. And then you come around the corner and you see something, something like this. It's beautiful. So the first term that I want to explain to you about hiking on the trail is SOBO or NOBO, and that's short for southbound or northbound. You can either start the Appalachian Trail in Georgia at Barren Mountain and go north, and that would make you a NOBO hiker, or you can start on Katahdin and go south, and that makes you a SOBO or southbound hiker. And of course, I'm a southbound hiker. The vast majority of people hike northbound, and everybody starts northbound February, March, April, and so there's a kind of a bubble of people that we expect to run into about I don't know, a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks from now. As we cross, we're going south, they're going north. My timing may be way off on that, I don't know. The other option for through hikers is a flip-flopper, and that's somebody that might start in the middle of the trail and go south, get to the south end, and then travel up north and go to the north end and just do the trail in different kind of configurations, but not straight one direction through. They still count as a through hiker. And I guess that's another term that we need to understand, is through hikers are people that do one end to the other and within a 12-month period, all 2,200 miles. The other kind of hiker, another kind of hiker, is called a section hiker. And some section hikers ultimately hike the entire Appalachian Trail, but they do it as they can on vacations or whatever, and take it in whatever little bites they can. Those are sections, or a section hiker. And then I really am kind of a little bit afraid that y'all are going to witness the results on video of me crashing between rocks and roots and many other things. So a lot of opportunities to trip and fall. So far so good. So that's a section hiker. Then of course there are day hikers. Some people all along the Appalachian Trail that'll come out for a day or 2 days, weekend hikers, to just enjoy this for a while. Here's a great example of why they call this the Green Tunnel. See the kind of hole in the middle, that's the trail, and all surrounded by trees and vegetation makes for a nice shady thing. Temperatures are really been super nice. It's a little bit warm in the afternoon, but not too bad. Yesterday we hiked along a lake shore almost a good part of the day, and kept it from being too hot. The bugs have intermittently been kind of bad, between a few black flies, but more mosquitoes and other flying things. And sometimes I have to wear a head net, and I apologize for the shakiness of this. I wish it were better. Okay, so a minute ago I said day 3. It's actually day 4, and it's an interesting process. By the end of the day, you're definitely tired. I know that eventually I'll gain some trail legs and get to going a little easier and maybe a little faster, easier distances. Yesterday was 11.3 2 miles, and by the end of the day I was ready to quit walking, and we had a good night at the shelter and it was all good. And today we've got, I think, 13.2. As long as it's not super angular or real steep, either up or down, that won't be too bad. Probably won't be thinking that at the end of the day instead of the beginning. So I wanted to explain real quick a couple of terms that are common out here, and one of them is, I'm gonna turn the camera around so you don't just have to look at my. See, already starting the beard. We'll see how that goes. Getting a little bit more, see the scruff coming in and see how that goes, and everything's working out pretty good. Gear's doing fantastically. Really, other than yesterday being a hard day and making less miles than I expected, today's been really nice and kind of made up the difference. I don't know what kind of miles we'll make today, but I'm not about the miles. I don't have a schedule. I don't have a set of goals, if you will, which is kind of crazy for me to say, but kind of a good feeling too. Okay, so here we are on day 5. Turned out to be a nice night. Camped beside that beautiful lake, and with the sunset, we got a good start today. I'm hiking with Cortland, and we got to start before 7 this morning. Sun comes up about 4:30, which is just insane, and it's 9:20 right now. So we've made a couple of miles, and mostly walking along this nice little stream or river or whatever you want to call it. Beautiful day. Just making the miles. This is just barely beginning to sprinkle right now. And it's the first time that it's rained on us or sprinkled on us. It's supposed to rain today, but we'll see. Just one second. Kind of a first milestone, and kind of up in the mountains, about to top of about 1,000-foot climb. My heart's beating a little bit extra, and it's been a great day. We're going to do good miles today, and been hiking with Cortland mostly. He had to stop for a second, so I went on, and he'll catch up with me. I'm pretty slow, but that's okay. I have no deadline. Kind of as usual, by the time you get your camera out, they disappear. And another one appears if you're careful. Beautiful butterflies. Just made it to the top of White Cap Mountain. Pretty tough, steady climb. Kind of see in the background the incredible view from this mountain. On the other side, I showed you a second ago a picture of the top where we started. But you can see just all the way around, as far as you can see. Beautiful day. A little bit windy up here, but we're on top of the mountain. And beautiful day. You can see my beard going down more still.
Adrenaline. you're close.
So a little ways into day 8, going down a really nice trail, making some good time as opposed to the last 3 days of going really slow. Come across this beautiful waterfall and it just kind of keeps going. Everything's going really well and it's a beautiful day. It's not too hot, not too cold, a little bit muggy, but the cool makes up for it, and so excited to be out. Just right up from the pond itself is where we stopped at a fire ring. We didn't make a fire because we were just having lunch, and we didn't get to have dinner last night, or we at least didn't get to cook dinner last night because we didn't have adequate water. The water source for the lean-to where we stayed at was way down a hill, and we were really tired, and we just decided it was a better choice to eat a nutrition bar and go to sleep and get up and make water in the get water in the morning. So we found ourselves about lunchtime having a little bit low on energy and stopped here and cooked a meal instead of doing the usual trail lunch where we don't cook. And I ate my Mountain House chicken and dumplings that I've been carrying around for 5 years, and now I can only carry it around as fat. About midway through the morning on day 9, we find ourselves at West Stairback Pond for kind of a brunch. And thus we begin day 10. We're on top of Barren Mountain, and it is an incredible view. I'll show you in just a second, but first let's look at the beard coming in a little bit more. We didn't get nearly as many miles as I mentioned yesterday, but and then it was raining when we intended to get up this morning, so we slept in a little bit and actually broke camp about 8:30. Spent the night with a couple of northbound thru hikers in the lean-to and learned a lot from them. Interesting folks, but we keep going. I'm not sure when we're going to be done today or when we'll get to Monson, but we will. Good morning on day 11. We stayed at a lean-to last night. A bunch of folks there. It was a really good time to enjoy. You can see the little river behind us and the rope kind of going across it. We just forded that river and had to take off our shoes and put on our river shoes or our camp shoes and go across. And this may be a moment in history that should be recorded, that the first time I did something like that without actually falling in. Pretty good start to the day. Today we're going to go hike about 10 miles and then get picked up by a shuttle and go to Monson and spend the next 2 nights in the little town of Monson at a hiker hostels instead of on the trail. Kind of our first days off after 11 days on the trail. Say again, whew, just finishing up the 100-mile wilderness. Toughest trek I've ever done. This is day 11, so 11 days from climbing the top of Mount Katahdin. Slept in my tent a couple of times, and the lean-tos provided by the trail, and really had a good time. Now we're going into Monson, Maine. Got reservations at one of the hostels, have a bunk there and get a shower and do laundry and recharge my electronical devices and all that sort of stuff. Really looking forward to taking a day off tomorrow. We're just gonna do all those things I just said and get some food resupplied and before we head back into the woods on Tuesday.